Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Dr. Glenn Vo, and I am super excited to have a friend of mine and also someone that's going to really help us out, Phillip Hartlage from Ally Lending. Phillip, how's it going?
It's going great, Dr. Glenn. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and spend some time with your group tonight.
Man, I am super excited to have you on because you know what? 2020, oh man, what can we say about 2020? It's done a number on every single business, changed the way we do business. And, we got 2 months left. We literally have 2 months left in 2020 to really do some good. And the biggest roadblock, as a dentist, I'm a practicing dentist. As a dentist, the biggest roadblock whenever I want to get treatment plan acceptance is the ability to pay, right? Financing options, right? And every single day I see posts in my group, they're talking about, oh man, what are you guys using? I can't use this guy because they don't qualify and all these different things. And so recently we got connected and I was so excited because I'm looking for a solution to help everyone out. But before we go any further, Phillip, let's just talk about your background because
Sure.
you know what? I think that's really significant. So talk about your background and how you ended up with Ally Lending.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. So, I came into the dental space about 15 years ago, started working with dentists in the banking industry, not specifically with patient financing, but with GE Healthcare, kind of trying to understand the dental business. It was a great experience for me because, it was jump right in, and I had a lot of great practices that we work with and a lot of great mentors on the dental side that really explained the business to me. And then, I moved over and actually worked for Care Credit for, about 10 years. So, I've been in the patient financing space, 13 years now, which is hard to believe. But, a few years ago, I left, came over to Ally Lending. We're a new kid on the block, I guess, if you can say, if you want to compare us to some of the other lenders. But we are a machine when it comes to a banking partner. And I think, some of the things that we've done in the last, 3 or 4 years before I got here, but the short history that we have has been really bring some kind of revolutionary type products to the patient financing space. And, when you could do that and also bring, a 100-year consumer lender that has, $180 billion in assets, it's a really good combination.
So Phillip, I want to have you kind of just talk about that, right?
Yeah.
Because Ally Lending, depending on where you are in the country, right? Some of you guys on the East Coast probably know all about Ally Lending, right?
Sure.
But maybe those in kind of the Midwest maybe not know as much. Talk about Ally Lending and talk about the significance of like a full service entity like Ally Lending and why that's so important.
Yeah, without a doubt. So, Ally Lending, again, they've become known in the space as, really one of the best banks to work with, not only from a lending perspective or, an investment perspective or just a banking perspective, but they really were ahead of the game in turn. We don't have brick and mortar stores, right? We're an online bank. We make it easy for you to transact and to manage your money. We've been really fortunate over the last couple of years to have some, great commercials on TV, whether it's at the Super Bowl or, a lot of the commercials out right now is, how's your money working for you? And it's a little $50 bill trying to like get into your wallet. And so, there's a really good brand out there around Ally Lending. But again, this is a bank that's been around, like I said, 100 years. The model started out with GMAC. We're one of the largest, strongest auto lenders out there. We do a number of different things. And it just, when you're well-rounded, you have a really strong, especially in times like today, you want a stable, long-term financial partner. And, I would put us against anybody right now in the banking industry.
Yeah, and that's really important. And like I said, you guys can go check out the website later on. We'll put a link on how to work with Ally Lending, and we'll talk about a Nifty deal. But guys, if you have any questions at all, you have any questions for Phillip, I'm sure a bunch of you guys, I've already got some messages coming in right here that I'm going to
Awesome.
I'm sure you guys have questions about Ally Lending, how it can work in your practice. Type it in the comments section. And also, if you want a Nifty deal, type in the comments section ally, right? Type in the comments section there if you want a nifty deals. We're going to talk about some awesome deals there. So Phil, I have the first question here. I'm going to push it out to you. And this question is probably something that everyone always asks you, right? You probably hear this all the time. They're like, what's the difference between you and some of the competitors that are in the dental space? I'm not going to even mention their names. We already know who they are. But that's the biggest problem is like, hey, I try to use this company and they either, the fees are outrageous, or maybe they just don't accept anyone, or maybe it's just so hard. There's roadblocks there. But they want to know what the difference is. So, Phillip, you've got a lot of experience. You've been in the space. You're not just some guy that just jumped right in. You've been around. So, talk about what is the big difference there.
Yeah. So again, I have been in the space for a while, and I still think even today there's still a need for more and more patient financing in the dental world. There's nothing worse than, I think fee is one of the number one roadblocks of treatment acceptance. I think patients need more options. We've been really busy this year, as you can imagine, but, I think one of the biggest things that your folks can do is, whether you go with Ally or whether you, use your existing patient financing partner, there's some things we can do to really embrace that and work that. So I'll tell you a little bit about what we do and what sets us apart. But, I think with Ally Lending, we're not an out of the box solution, right? So every client that we work with, dedicated account management, customized reporting, we bring a lot of experience, not just with me, but, we are a melting pot of a lot of different patient financing companies that work over here at Ally right now. So if you need help with your front staff, if you need help with your marketing piece, if you need help with, I've probably done 6,000 side-by-sides in the front office over my career, right? Where I'm listening to the conversations, and just being able to add verbiage, to just do different things, right? To improve your patient's financing or, case acceptance experience. That's really the biggest thing, right? I think with Ally, you've got a strong lending partner, which is a huge checkbox, right? Because look, at the end of the day, it's about approvals. It's about credit lines. It's about, the fees you're going to pay. That's a big piece. But if your clients aren't engaged about the product you have, if your patients aren't engaged by, the product that you have, if your staff is disengaged because, they've been having decline conversation after decline conversation, then, it doesn't matter who you have. It's not going to be successful. So, there's a lot of different things we do, that might not seem like a big deal, but I'll start from the very beginning of our experience. We have a pre-qualification process, right? So if you have a patient that's, facing an out-of-pocket cost that they really can't afford to pay for today and they need to break it down, but their credit score maybe isn't where they think they might get, approved, they're going to say no to that because they don't want to have that decline conversation. So, hey, we got to pre-qualify. Soft credit check, no hard hit, no impact. Let's give it a shot and see if we can get some offers to them. Yeah. So that's, right away, it takes away some of the anxiety from your staff. It takes away some anxiety from the patient. So that's one of the big things.
So I went ahead and put up the slide that you sent me, and it's the slide is like what sets us apart, the pricing rates, and I think that's pretty appropriate to talk right now since you kind of talked about that. So let's just kind of dive right into that because I know that that's going to be everyone else's questions is like the pricing and the rate. So let's just kind of segue right into that.
Yeah. Look, I think our pricing is really competitive in the industry. Again, there's a couple things on this slide. So we offer two different products. We offer a interest promo, which is basically if they pay it off in the promotional period, right? They don't pay any interest or APR on that loan, which is fantastic if folks want to take advantage of that. Typically, our dental clients typically offer that 6 and 12 month, defer or, interest promotion, which is really competitive. It's a motivator for folks to move forward today and break it down over 6 months or 12 months, right? If you look at the fee on that, 4.65 for the 6 month and 8.45. Again, it's a really competitive fee out there in terms of some of the other options. The other thing too is if you have folks out there that are doing a little bit more large case and they have some larger case transactions, we max approve at $40,000 instantly. So you do a pre-qual, you get your offers, you can transact. The whole process takes about 60 seconds, and we go up to $40,000 instantly.
Now, Philip, I'm gonna put you on the spot, but we can keep this really. We can be political about this, right? And I say in a good way, not in a bad way, guys. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna get into politics. We get enough of that all day long. But
Sure.
I'm gonna say we're gonna be political. We're gonna be nice about this. When you said, so what caught my ears, because I do a lot of big cases in my practice, right? And these patients, they want to do these cases, and these cases go up to 30, 35,000 easily, right?
That's right.
And a big issue is sometimes I use a different lender, and I am just basically cut off at a certain amount, and then the
Yep.
patient is looking at me like, well, I want that. I can make the payments. I can't do that. So, Philip, in their most politically way, you said Ally is up to 40,000, but there's other people out there, and what are their limits?
Yeah. No, without a doubt. I think that's one of the frustrations that I run into, working with dental clients is they have 4 different dental financing partners. They have like a spreadsheet that says, if this, use this one, and if this, use this one. And that's because, a lot of companies out there are good in one area but fall short in others, right?
Right.
I think Ally is really a true, I don't want to talk about exclusive, but if you want one partner, right? If you want to simplify that process and have one lending partner that you can kind of hook your wagon to, Ally really covers all the boxes, right? We have a standard installment loan that goes out to 60 months. If you need 72, we'll make 72 happen, right? So, I mean, again, we can be customizable. We can work with your practice. If you need, not everybody needs 40 grand, but look, if you come across the case and you need $33,000, we're going to max approve up to 40. So again, I just think that whether it's a small treatment or large case, long-term, we cover both bases. But again, you got the fees up. So I want to make one comment on the fees. We're not going to save anybody on this call into a great year, right? What really matters with us is approving one more patient today that didn't get approved with somebody else. And if we can approve one more patient today, if we can approve 10 more patients a week, that's really going to drive that $500,000 or $1 million to your bottom line. It's not saving, a half a point on the merchant fees, right? It's really going to be.
I totally agree with that, because at the end of the day, that's the most demoralizing thing. When you have a patient, they want to do it, right? They have the credit to do it. They have the desire to do it. They have the time to do it.
That's
Then
right.
you don't have the partner to work with to get them there. That's so frustrating. And for me, it's happened many times where it's a big case, and the patient knows it, and they're willing to go through with it. And we just couldn't get the financing to get them what they wanted. We had to compromise. We had to compromise and do something else, and it's frustrating. So, guys, if you like what you're hearing right now, type in the comment section Ally. And if you have any questions, post up a question. We got a pretty funny question right here. I'm going to put you on the spot, Philip. This is a pretty funny question. And you know what? I may have to bail you out, but I'll just go ahead and put this on anyway. So this doc was like, I just jumped on, and is Ally like Lending Club or Care Credit?
Awesome. I love it. So yeah, my first answer is we are a third-party patient financing option, but we're nothing like Lending Club or Care Credit.
I love that.
Yeah, there's a number of options. And again, I won't go into specifics, but look, there's a lot of credit card products out there, right? There's a lot of credit card options, healthcare credit cards, that type of thing. Hey, those are all fine and great. But look, what you really need is a lending partner that's focused on the transaction at hand. The patient has an out-of-pocket cost they need to deal with. Let's focus on that and get them moving forward today, right? And that's, the healthcare networks and all that kind of stuff. That's great. But at the end of the day, it's about moving more people forward.
I love that. Okay, well, I'll take this funny question down. I thought you would get a kick out of that. We were just talking about that. So, the next thing I want to go into is, look, I mean, there's the one thing that I heard, and now I'm going to take advantage of is that you've worked in practices, you've helped practices, you've helped people implement this. So Philip, you shouldn't have said that, because now that I know that, I'm going to drag you back on here to do more training. But let's talk about some best practices here, okay? Sure. Look, Ally Lending, guys, is another option here. It's a great option. You already heard all the great things about it. But you know what? Just because you have a good option, it's only as good as you're actually using it, right? If you're not using it, if it's just sitting there, you have a brochure sitting there and you never offer it to your patient, it doesn't do any good. So Phillip, why don't let's go over like the top few things of how you can make this successful in a practice. What do
Yeah,
doctors do?
no, I think, again, especially in the environment we're in right now, it reminds me of, 07, 08, 09. Let's hope, we don't get anywhere near that. But I think, when you talk about anxiety from patients in terms of how they're going to pay their bills, they're really close to the vest right now, right? People don't want to part with their money, not in big chunks, right? So I think, the best practice that you need to implement tomorrow, no matter who you're working with, is you need to go ahead and embrace the fact that, look, we have a 6-month or a 12-month payment option. We need to promote it. We don't need to make it last resort. We don't need to hide it until we think it's necessary. We need to promote it. We need to put it out there. We need to make people, as soon as they, get onto your website, as soon as they walk into your office, completely extinguish their anxiety around the fee.
Yeah.
Because you can tell them it's as simple as saying, hey, don't worry about that because, look, we've got some great payment options. We work with Ally Lending. They can break it down into like a 12-month payment option for you. So don't even worry about that. Let's focus on the care today. Let's focus on what you need to get done, and we'll take care of all that stuff at the end. And again, if you can just do something simple like that, get your team on board to say, let's just get rid of that anxiety, all the way through the process. By the time they get to the front desk or they get into that treatment coordinator's office, they're going to bring it up. They're going to say, hey, Dr. Glenn mentioned that there was a 6-month or 12-month payment option. I'm interested. How do I get that? And that completely takes the anxiety out of the room. It makes the treatment coordinator's job so much easier, right? Because they can now present that as a viable option, right? Yeah. And people that don't want to use that, people that have money to pay today, they're not going to sign up for another card, right? So don't think you're going to use it more than you need it. But at least by putting it out there, you've eliminated a lot of no's and turned them into yeses.
I mean, that's just taking one obstacle away, right? There's a lot of obstacles, guys, when someone comes into your practice. But look, when they come into your practice, you already went past one obstacle. That is, okay, they actually had to get up and get to your office. Okay.
That's right.
Then at that point, you gotta work on if they have some fear, you gotta work through that. But look, if you can just take away the obstacle of how am I going to pay for it, or at least
That's right.
there, that's that's half the battle right there. That's half the battle. Now, I just got a message here from a doctor, and he's asking, well, how fast is the approval? Like, I mean, do they have to come back the next day? Do they find out right then and there? Can we start right away? What's the approval process like?
Yeah, so from beginning of application, again, pre-qual process, completely paperless, so they can do it in the office, they can do it on a tablet, they can do it on their smartphone. It takes 30 to 60 seconds to get an instant response with what their offers are. They can select the offer, they can pay right there. So the whole process is really driven as I know this is a retail term, but it's really a point of sale experience, right? Yeah. We want folks, that's how people want to pay now, especially with COVID, right? I want to pull out my phone, I want to get the financing, I want to go ahead and pay for it, and I want to walk out the door. And so they can do that with Ally Lending, and it just, makes it a great experience. And again, it's also another thing that comes into my mind is, again, with where we are right now, with where we are with, people concerned a little bit about going back to the dentist or concerned about going out, this is the time. I went to the dentist the other day, and hopefully she's not part of your Nifty Thrifty network. I mean, I hope she is, but if she hears this, she might be mad at me. But, again, as I was done, they were trying to set me up for 3 more appointments, right, to come back in and have some old fillings changed. And, she wanted to space it out and break down the payment for me. And I looked at her and I said, hey, look, I don't want to break it out. I want to give me the time where I can come in and give you the day and you can get it all done and I'll pay for it all up front, right? So again, I think, you have a lot of staff, you have a lot of folks that they're worried about offering a large fee amount, right? But people, they want you to just break it down, bring them in, get it all done, and it's a win-win for everybody involved.
Yeah. No, I love that. Guys, if you like what you're hearing, type in the comments section, Ally. If you want the Nifty deal, we'll do the Nifty deal, but you're gonna have to type in the comments there and keep the questions coming. If you want to be anonymous, that's cool. Just send me a message. I'm looking right now, and I'll pump those questions over to Phillip. So Phillip, I'm gonna go to a different direction here. So obviously, 2020 has been unprecedented. I mean, from shutdowns to quarantine, all these different things, all these crazy things, right? But look, we got 2 months left. And what I've been telling everybody in our group is, look, okay, you can start using some marketing dollars and market to people and get people into your office, but you actually are sitting on a kind of like a gold mine.
Gold mine.
Right? I mean, you got all these patients who are scared to come in. You have all these patients who probably had treatment before all this stuff happened. And you know what? Now you have a solution, and that is with Ally Lending. So my question to you, Phillip, is this. If we reach out to them, should we have them start looking into the financing before they come in, or should we just do that when they get here?
No, without a doubt. Like I mentioned earlier, I mean, there's anxiety about, look, people haven't been to the dentist for a while, right? And, a lot of people are at home and they know they need something that's probably outside the norm, right? So there's going to be fee anxiety around that. So if I was you and you were going to reach out to unscheduled treatment, I would automatically engage with the fact that, look, we have a 6-month, we have a 12-month payment option, whatever you're comfortable from a fee perspective offering. I would push that out there and say, look, you don't have to pay for anything today. We're going to be able to fit it into your budget. However long it needs to take, we can work that out. But we want to get you in here. We want to take care of you. So, your health is the biggest issue, right? And I think, if you do that, and look, I've been doing this for a long time, and, I know I work for Ally, and I'm trying to pitch here a little bit, but look, I've been doing this for a long time. The folks that do that, they win the day more than the folks that kind of back away from that. Yeah. Make it easy for them to come in. Make it affordable for them. Again, somebody told me a long time ago that if everything in the dental office cost $1, everybody would have beautiful teeth, right? And I mean, I think that's the angle. The easier you can break it down into their monthly payment, into their budget, make it affordable, they're going to have beautiful teeth. So, let's make that happen.
I love that. And it's all about just, look, I mean, if money is an issue, right, and you reach out to them and say, hey, why don't you come in, right, and money's already an issue, it's already in their head, of course they're going to come up with an excuse because they want to save face. They're going to say, oh, you know what, I'm scared or of COVID or something, or, I'm too busy or whatnot. But if you just come out and say, hey, look, we got this great financing company. They're great. It's a large online lender. Everyone uses it. We've had so much success. You know what? I just want to pass that information for you. I want you to look into that. But I promise you that once you take that that is something cause some anxiety when you're wondering if you pay for the appointment. If you take that away and you already have a rapport with the patient, they've already been in, they already like you, it's a no-brainer, right? Then all those excuses go away. So I love that. I love the fact that you get a response fairly quickly, right? Like there's no message.
Again, look, Ally, we're built on doing it right. We own the entire process, right? So there's a lot of lenders out there that use other banks, and it's a platform that has multiple lenders and all that kind of stuff. Look, we own the entire process. So your entire experience is going to be with Ally. The patient's entire experience is going to be with Ally. So again, get them pre-qualified. They know they have access to funds that they can spend in your office. It's just, you won't regret the fact that you've sent them to us. We're going to add to that boutique experience, and make sure that, they love you for it, right? Again, you're paying for this service, right? We're providing a service and you're paying for it as a doctor. Take advantage of the fact that, you're offering them a 6-month motivator to get started today and not wait.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so I went ahead and put on, I have a few messages. They're like, okay, how do I sign up with Ally? Well, look, guys, I have a link here. I'm going to make another post tomorrow. For those who don't like to watch the video, I'm going to make another post so you can see it. All right, and I'm going to also put it in the live stream later. But here's the website here. And so I'm going to go ahead, this person who asked me the question, how to sign up, we'll talk about it right now. First of all, you're going to go to this website. All right, you're going to type that into your search box. I'm going to put a link there. You can click on it. Once they go to this site, Phillip, what are the next steps and how fast are they going to be accepted? How fast can they start offering this to their patients?
Yeah, no, that's great. So again, go to lending.ally.com/enroll/DMI. The cool thing about why we want you to go to that site and not, go directly to Ally and enroll is that And Glenn, I don't even know if we've talked about this, but I really want to, as we get folks coming from the Nifty Thrifty group that join on, if we get 20, we get 30, we get 50, as we bring those folks on, we're going to keep those folks in the group. As that volume of usage goes up, we're gonna lower those fees. All
Oh, I
right,
love
so we're gonna treat you guys like one big DSO, right? So you guys come on board, you guys use it. We can talk about this on the back end, but as we knock down barriers, in volume, we'll knock down the fee percentage for every single provider that's underneath that DMI space. So, but anyway, lending.ally.com/enroll/DMI. All you need is a copy of your dental license. We have to have that on file as part of the our banking regulation. And then the only other thing you need to have ready is basically the funding account that you want us to deposit funds in. And again, it takes you 3 minutes to get enrolled with us. You'll upload those 2 documents. Typically within 3 to 5 days, we'll be reaching out to you and your team to schedule a training on the platform. And then at that point, like I said earlier, we've got a lot of resources to coach your folks if you want that. And again, I'm not talking about coaching them on how great Ally is. I'm talking about coaching them on how to overcome patient anxiety, around fees.
Now, is that free training? Because you're in the Nifty Thrifty groups. I got to ask you that.
Yeah. Hey, so everything from our account management to our reporting to, we do a ton of different consultant and different things like that. The only thing that you'll ever pay us, and this goes back to, I think, doing it right, is going to be the transaction fee that we talked about earlier. There's no hidden fees with us. There's no non-usage fees. There's no enrollment fee or, you got a free training type thing fee. That's all included with the program. So we'll take care of your entire life cycle on the lending, and all you do have to do is pay us when you transact.
I love that. I love it. Okay, so I have this next slide here. It's about the products and promotions. So I wanted to kind of to look at that and explain that because I have it up, and people are probably wondering. They're wondering like, what is the installment loan option and what is the interest promotion? Let's talk about those things that Ally Lending is offering.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's a good point because a lot of the companies that are out there use what's called deferred interest, right? Which is put them into some type of 6-month, but if they don't pay it off, they get hit with a big whammy, right? And it's not a great patient experience, to be honest with you, because your patient's going to be upset, if they missed a payment or if they, let it roll out a week too late and all of a sudden they've got to pay, twice as much. So with our product, we're an installment product, right? So it's an installment loan product that's a fixed rate that a patient can pay off. And if they want to do a 24-month, at a 9.99 APR, it's a nice, comfortable payment for them. That's great. But we'll also give them, depending on, what kind of offer you want to offer. If they want to pay it off in 6 months, great. They don't pay any interest on that at all. They don't pay any APR on it, right? But if they want to go ahead and take it out to 24 months, they can go ahead and just make that same payment every month and not get hit with like this retroactive, penalty.
Yeah.
So it's just we have an installment loan that if they want to pay it off early, they can take advantage of that. And it's just a better experience for the patient. And it's simple and easy to understand. And it's just doing it right.
So I just got this other message here, and this doctor's asking, well, we worked with other companies before, and we got all this marketing material that was very helpful that we gave to our patients so they could take with them. This Ally offered these market material, and I'm sure you know what I'm about here.
No, like I mentioned earlier about our robust Super Bowl ads last year, right? We've got a mammoth marketing department, right? That's ready to, again, they crank out some great material. That really helps position financing options in the office, right? We want to make it easy to approach. We want to make it easy to engage, and they're really good at doing that. But we don't want to brand your office with Ally, right? So we've got some other payment calculators we can kind of incorporate into whatever practice management software that you're using right now. So if you want to keep us on the back of the scenes and just let us be your banking partner, we'll still promote those options, and you guys can run with it. If you want to put us out there and promote the brand, hey, we think the brand's fantastic. We're never going to let you down. It's a tremendous brand. I think people love it. We see engagement every day. So, right now I think as of today, we're serviced 8.5 million customers today. So, we think we've got a great brand and we'd love to be a partner.
I love it. And I got a funny question here. And based on your background, Philip, you'll understand
Yeah.
what this means. This doctor asks, well, if we sign up in a year, can we get a stuffed animal from you guys?
You know what?
I know exactly what they're talking about, Philip. I know you
I
do
know
too.
exactly what they're talking about too. And again, we're not in the stuffed animal business, but I've handed a lot of those out over the years. So I think I still have nightmares about the rush of trying to get a pillow pet at some of the trade shows. But no, we don't do pillow pets. We've got some great swag that we do use to engage your team. Typically, it's a Yeti or some free swag that we can try to motivate them to jump on a Zoom call and work with our team in times like today. But no, the stuffed animals, that's not going to be up our alley, unfortunately.
Well, you know what, Philip? If there's ever a promo, you're gonna let us be the first one to know. But guys, let's put
Without
it.
a doubt.
If you can close more cases, if you can empower your team to close more cases, because really this is about your team, right? Your treatment coordinator, all right? Your front office, your assistant who's presenting the treatment plan, and they ever to close this case, I'll tell you what, the amount of revenue you're bringing in, you can probably buy everyone a pillow pet, all right, and more, okay? And
Exactly. That's exactly right.
I love that. My final question here, I'm going to ask this, and then before we kind of wrap this up is, with all there's a lot of uncertainty going on right now, right? I mean, we're going into an election here next week, literally, right? And, things are kind of like shaky right now. No one knows what's going on. My question is, with Ally, is everything going to be stable? Are we going to be okay with you guys going through these kind of unforeseen times?
Yeah, without a doubt. And again, I don't think I referenced it earlier, but we're not anywhere where again, we're not anywhere near where we were back in, 07, 08, 09.
Oh man. 2006 through 2000.
No. Again, we know there's an end in sight. We know there's an end in sight with this one. So again, our risk guys are the first ones to tell us every morning that, look, keep pushing it, keep bringing it. We're a strong lender. We've been around 100 years. We're going to be around hundreds of more. So I think, again, COVID's a different thing, but, I don't know if do I have a couple minutes? Can I just tell one quick story?
Of course.
I probably should have brought this up earlier, but look, with COVID, I'm so proud about working for Ally because back in March, we were one of the first banks that went to the market with a COVID response and started deferring patients' payments. We went to our providers and we said, look, we're not going to withhold merchant fees. We're going to give you about, some time. And I think, we're still doing that, unfortunately, today, right? We're still doing that. You can go check out our COVID response on the Ally page. But, I think there's just a mentality where, look, we know that we're safe and secure. We want to make sure your patients, we take away as much anxiety as we can because we're in it for the long term. We want them to be long-term clients with Ally Lending. So the more we can do now to just ease the burden and do it right, we're going to do that.
I love it. I love it. On that note, I think that's a good time to wrap up here. But Philip, thank you so much for jumping on the Nifty group. Guys, I want to make another post. I'm going to put the link in there. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, you got to take away roadblocks, right? We got 2 months left. We got 2 months left in 2020. Let's end it on a positive note. You guys have a bunch of patients that haven't been in. You also have a lot of patients that need this treatment. They need this treatment. And look at the studies, right? I mean, COVID is something not to mess around with. What I've been telling my patients is this. If you get COVID, right, you need to be at your best. You need to be at your best. You need to be at your best to get through this. And being at your best is making sure everything is okay dental-wise, right? That's why I tell my patients. They totally get it. And if we can give them an option, because right now, there's a lot on their mind. But if you can give them one reason why to make things easier, give them the financing, you want to take it. That's what that's what I'm so excited about having them on board. Super excited to have Philip here. He's a wealth of information. So Philip, thank you so much for jumping on. Guys,
Thanks,
click the link, apply. He said it's probably take maybe up to 3 days because, they're going to get the training in there. But then you can offer it to your patients. You can get your patients to apply for it. They can take the anxiety away. And when you call them, they're like, hey, doc, I'm ready to schedule, right? Then it's up to you guys to work extra, okay? I can't help you there, but you know what? If you can serve these patients and really end this year on a high note, it's going to take you into 2021 better.
That's right.
So, Philip, thank you.
We look forward to working with your folks. Thanks, Glenn.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all later.